Thanks for staying tuned to your station, the Africa Independent Television, and welcome to your program, Security Watch Africa. On this program, we'll bring you every information you need to keep your life safe and secured. Welcome. Wherever the news is, we'll bring it to you. Today, we'll be looking at a very important issue that affects, is a factor to insecurity, that leads to insecurity, but very seldom time people consider it as important, talking about social and moral depravity, where a lot of today it's said that the public display of wealth and affluence begin to influence a lot of people to go into criminality. My name is Patrick Abambo, and there was a report by the United States Embassy in Nigeria last week where there was an alert, particularly on the African report, that says that the Nigerian ruling class display wealth. And to what effect is that? How does that affect security, even as the security agencies, security forces are fighting to battling with this insecurity and criminals? What are the factors that leads and breeds insecurity? Some has identified this public display of wealth by ruling class, but I also say generally because some people, you cannot identify their source of income displaying wealth, and this attracts others into making it at all costs. So I have a guest who I can say has seen it all while in service, and even outside service he's been very active, and in terms of operational and tactical and intelligence, he's one that I can vouch for, talking about Dennis Amakri. Dennis Amakri is an holder of, is a member of Order of Nigeria. Most Nigerians may not know this, that he's a MON, and a former Deputy Director, Department of State Services. It's a pleasure to have you be on the program today once again.
Thank you, Patrick. He's a member of the Order of the Niger.
The Order of the Niger, and of course, Nigeria.
Not Nigeria.
Yes. Order of the Niger, yes. MON.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
A lot of people do not know that. A lot of people, if it's silent on it. But some of us can still remember because of your active service to the country, Nigeria. It's a pleasure to have you look at this. You were in service, and I know that in those days, most ruling class, we have seen some of them display wealth in such a way that people tend to wonder, where is this money coming? Of course, it can be easily identified that it's from the public funds that should have been used for development. Even today is even becoming so openly done, brazenly, that the United States Embassy in Nigeria has raised an alarm on that. Tell me what you know about this, and how do you think this is it really a problem, or people should be free to display what they've got, whether illegally or otherwise?
Thank you very much. You see, this is a very, very important topic that you have brought up this morning. And it's a problem that Nigeria just have to solve this problem. Because if we don't solve this problem, it will lead to other consequences that we might not like very much. Now, a foreign country is coming out to tell us. It's not that we don't know. We know. The brazen and arrogant display of, wealth, when the country itself is very, very poor. The president has been busy telling people that, look, tighten up your belt, things will be better. But meanwhile, we are seeing governors, displaying all kinds of things. So it is a very big problem.
In those days, I remember that government made it mandatory that for government officials you must use Nigerian manufactured or assembled vehicles like Peugeot and even all that, just to be able to live a life that is quite not discouraging to the public. But today you see some of them using Escalades, limousine and all that. Tell me, where do they get these funds from, please?
They are stolen funds. They are stolen funds. Any fund that is misappropriated is stolen. You know, because if it is not used for what it is, appropriated to do, then you divert it or you use it to do other things. It's stolen. It's stolen. Look, let me tell you, if we see Dangote, for instance, Alhaji Dangote is driving down the streets of Abuja with a Rolls Royce. People will not even blink an eye,
yes,
because that is the richest man in Africa, and we know what he does.
But incidentally, he doesn't drive that.
Even he does not even drive that. Then you see a minister or a governor driving a Rolls Royce. You know, these are monies for government. It's money for the people. And how did he manage to get that? And the flagrant display is because there are no consequences. You know, that's why when the former president, President Muhammad Buhari died, you know, we were talking about it. And I pointed it out to people that the very first time he came into power, when we have war against indiscipline, war against corruption, and you dare not. In fact, many people, many politicians ran out of the country.
Yeah, that's true.
But after that, now we are now having a new resurgence of this, very careless behavior. Careless in the sense that people don't consider that the majority of Nigerians are suffering. And then you display this, or you go there, you throw money at them, and you feel that everything is okay. It is not very okay. So the important thing is that we have to hold our governors especially, accountable.
Okay. Now, let's come to how this affects security. Some have said that this could lead a lot of people to aspire to also get these funds at all costs, so that they see those people as role models. How does it relate with insecurity?
Right now you cannot, if it has already happened, so that it's not that people are going to aspire. It is already going on, whereby, do you see why our elections are not free and fair? The reason why our elections are not free and fair is because people are fighting, do or die, to make sure that they get to those funds and then spend the funds anyhow they want. And that is where our problem starts. So it is something that we have to really look at. There are things that we can do, to discourage people. Governors feel that they are having immunity, but this immunity, in fact, there is a bill right now where they are trying to say that, look, this immunity should be withdrawn, and they can be prosecuted. And then, of course, the EFCC itself should go ahead and do their job, because you cannot, say that you don't know when a governor is building a mansion for himself or driving a Rolls Royce, and will say that it is government. Meanwhile, teachers or nurses' salaries have not been paid. These are the kinds of things that we have to start looking at.
Okay. Now, in fact, he talked about we can do something, and the agency in charge of anti-corruption, EFCC, and maybe the ICPC also should be able to do their work properly. But some people will say, again, is the political will, because these are they were appointed by the same system, and they might find it difficult to fight this same system that have appointed or recommended them. What would you say to this?
You are very correct. And that's why we're saying that some of these agencies should be free. They should be independent. Okay, because if the anti-corruption agencies are independent, they should be able to invite and these corrupt people to come and answer for question, and they will investigate and monitor their spending. In fact, right now, besides even arresting or anything, the EFCC have another job. It is not the job of looking for who have stolen money. They should also have an audit kind of department whereby they can go in and look at, how the governors are spending the money.
Spending the money.
Yes, because we have security vote, for instance. The security vote is there. People are spending it anyhow. I'm very, very happy that the socio-economic rights and accountability project, SERAP are thinking, I think they are trying to, find out how governors are spending their money. And I think that's another agency that can go to court. They can sue them.
Yeah,
You know,
because I
and
know
let
that.
governors not take.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry,
go ahead.
sorry. Yeah, I know that some of these governors hide these funds and under security votes, and because they are allowed to use it at their own will to, and whereas the majority of people are dying of hunger and not secured. Is it possible to work out? You talked about auditing, where this security votes can also be opened up to be assessed, because to be checked, because even the security agencies are not getting the funds from these security votes.
Of course, they are not. They are not getting it. So that's why I'm saying that the oversight function of things like the EFCC or ICPC should go one step further. To say, hey, okay, the security vote, how do you? It's not the governor's pocket money. Because right now, that's the way they see
Yes.
it. It's governor's pocket money. And he can do anything. He can use it to patronize people. He can go and donate, or he can do one or two things. And that's why, education is very, very important. Many people believe that, governor has come, he has given us this amount, this, that. Governors cannot just be giving out money anyhow. They cannot, because they are supposed to work within a budget. They are supposed to work within a budget. It's not a situation where there is a fire in a university somewhere and it burned down somewhere. Then you visit that place, and then not even your state. You go there and you donate money. Donate money to them, 300 million, and they are happy. They will hail you. They will call you all kinds of names. But the point is that the money you are using is not for that. It's not for that.
All right.
So we should demand tangible results from these governors.
Okay. Thank you so much. By next time we're looking at this, part 2 of this, let's look at the role of judiciary in all this, because some of these, since the inception of 1999, how many of these governors that are under prosecution have actually been sentenced? They keep on getting adjournment and delaying. Up to 30 of them are still waiting trials and all that. Those are part of the issues we should also look at. The judicial administration, how is it helping this situation? Thank you so much for your time. We know you are very busy. Next time, we'll continue with this discussion. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for having me.
All right, sir. Yeah, that was Mr. Dennis Amakri, MON, member of the Order of Niger, who has done so well for the country and was given that national honor. He was a Deputy Director, Department for State Services. Yes, we'll go to the Nigerian Army headquarters, where the Senate Committee on Army visited the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oloyede to brief him on their findings on the nationwide assessment and oversight function. Sit back as Elizabeth Tanko brings us the report.
Towards ensuring effective budgeting for the Nigerian Army, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oloyede, appealed for the help of the Nigerian Senate to help the Nigerian Army exit envelope budgeting system of the federal government of Nigeria. General Oloyede made this appeal while responding to the remarks by the Chairman Senate Committee on Army, Senator Abdulaziz Musa Yar'Adua, who led the committee on an oversight and familiarization visit to the Army headquarters in Abuja.
Well, I want to maybe reiterate again that the job we do is not just an ordinary job, it's a job of sacrifice. And we try as much as possible to do that so that we can make Nigeria safer. In as much as funds have been given to us to carry out projects within the Army, I want to tell this honorable session and distinguished senators that as we speak, the Army is still terribly challenged in terms of operational efficiency. Because if we were to go by the table of equipment, we'll say maybe the Army is equipped maybe barely 50% or 60% max. And I remember the last time we were here, I made mention of the accommodation deficiency in the Army. And that has not improved because we are recruiting more. Like this year now, we're going to have about 13,000 coming to the Army. But we don't have the corresponding resources to provide accommodation for them. So as we speak, the Army, I think we still have a deficiency of about 40% of our soldiers not being accommodated. And that will keep on growing. And you can't just imagine the import of also having soldiers that are not accommodated, despite their sacrifices. So I think the Senate needs to consider maybe taking us out of the envelope budgeting system.
Stating the purpose of the visit, Senator Yar'Adua also commended the Nigerian Army for its operational efficiency, noting that the committee had observed significant progress during its nationwide assessment of the Nigerian Army formation.
The essence is to ensure the effective utilization of public funds, ensuring that projects that are in appropriation acts are effectively implemented. In that regard, we started the conduct of this exercise by splitting ourselves into two groups. Group 1 was led by my humble self. We visited Borno State and Katsina State, the formations. While Group 2 was led by the Vice Chairman. They visited Sokoto State and Rivers State. Then later, the two groups merged and we went to Lagos to carry out the oversight. And we're here today. Before coming to Army headquarters, we have been to Nigerian Army Space Command, the Nigerian Army Aviation, and the Nigerian Army Farms and Ranches Limited. In all the formations visited, we were given operational briefs as well as briefs on the projects that we were supposed to visit. Some of the projects were completed 100%, some were 80% completed, some were 50%. And generally the quality of the job was very good, except for one or two projects. The oversight visit has been very satisfactory.
The chairman pledged the unrelenting support of the committee to the Nigerian Army.
We want to assure the Chief of Army Staff of our continued support for the Nigerian Army, and we will continue to collaborate by extension with the executive arm of government to ensure that the requirements of the Army are met so that the country will return back to its relative peace and security. I want to thank the Chief of Army Staff, the Principal Staff Officers of the Army Headquarters for the continued collaboration and support that you've been giving to this committee.
Jan Oluyede stressed the Army's growing operational and welfare needs. The Chief of Army Staff thanked President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and expressed appreciation for the visit by the Senate Committee. Elizabeth Thanko reporting.
Yeah, welcome back. Yes, we'll go straight again to the Armed Forces Radio that has opened its doors to celebrate its 10 years anniversary. And again, Elizabeth Tanko was there and brings us this report.
The Armed Forces of Nigeria Radio 107.7 FM has been described as an indispensable strategic communication tool in Nigeria's ongoing fight against insurgency and insecurity, as it marked its 10th anniversary with a commemorative event in Abuja. Speaking at the ceremony, the Minister of Defense, Dr. Muhammad Badaru Abubakar, who was represented by the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Defense, Ambassador Gabriel Adoda, praised the station for its consistent efforts in amplifying military operations and strengthening civil-military relations.
This is not merely a celebration of time past, but of a mission fulfilled, voices amplified, and a vital bridge between the armed forces and the people that we serve. And what began as a modest initiative has now grown into a beacon of professional military broadcasting, playing a very decisive role in informing the public, strengthening civil-military relations, and countering misinformation in an increasingly complex environment.
The minister commended the Chief of Defense Staff, the service chiefs, the Defense Department of Civil Military Affairs, and the entire 107.7 FM team for sustaining its operation through a decade.
Let me first commend the Chief of Defense Staff, the service chiefs, the Defense Department of Civil Military Affairs, and the committed team at 107.7 FM for sustaining this mission over these 10 years. I wish to also salute the broadcasters who blend creativity with discipline, mastering the evolving tools of communication while remaining rooted in the ethos of military professionalism.
On his part, the Chief of Defense Staff, CDS, General Christopher Gwabin Musa, commended the vision behind the establishment of the Armed Forces Radio, describing it as a key player in the information warfare space.
Over the past decade, we have witnessed the power of radio to transform lives. From a humble beginning to become a household name, the station has remained committed to delivering high-quality content, entertainment, education, and information to our esteemed listeners. We have covered local and international news, promoted cultural heritage, giving a platform for voices to be heard, and most importantly, provide clarity on the activities of the Armed Forces of Nigeria. In doing this, the station has satisfactorily denied oxygen to agents of disinformation and misinformation. The Armed Forces Radio has over the last 10 years worked very hard to secure a sensible listenership in the very competitive broadcast environment of the Federal Capital Territory. Feedback received from our devoted listeners has consistently pointed to this direction.
Earlier, while welcoming guests to the event, the Executive Director of the Armed Forces Radio, Colonel Timothy Antiga retired, reaffirmed the station's enduring commitment to truth and national service.
In the course of this 1 decade of excellence in broadcasting, we wish to thank the Chief of Defense Staff, who has been the major backbone of the station. We wish to thank our very revered listeners who have continued to tune in every day of the last 10 years to listen to our programs. Your confidence in our abilities have continued to inspire us, and we want to assure you that as we commence our broadcast steps in the second decade of the life of this station, we will continue to stay the course and give you very informative, educative, and inspiring programs from the Armed Forces Radio Service.
The The high point of the celebration was the keynote lecture delivered by Professor Abiodun Adeniyi, titled The Role of Broadcasting in Counter-Insurgency Operations.
Apart from these other factors and sectors of society that shapes the mind, the other thing that is very, very powerful in shaping the mind is the media. And today, the media channel that we are focusing on as a powerful shaper of the mind is actually radio. But why are we talking about the radio? We're concerned about the radio because of the role it has played in history, not just in terms of conscientizing, sensitizing systems and society, but through operations. Messages from the radio can be very powerful, not because of the content per se, but because of the level of accessibility, the affordability, the flexibility around it. Even in modern times, the radio can be upon us. We can witness it on our smartphone, in our cars, and everywhere else.
Elizabeth Ango, reporting for Security Watch Africa.
Yeah, welcome back. Yes, I would like to quickly draw the attention of the Nigeria Immigration Service to the suffering of Nigerians living in Qatar. Security Watch Africa have been receiving a lot of SOS message from them saying that they have been having serious challenge with renewing their passport, their international passport, which has expired, and they had paid close to 400,000 naira equivalent to secure a new one for over 5 months and going to 6 months and no response. And their jobs have been threatened, and in foreign land you can't move freely if they don't have an identity system. So please, the Nigeria Immigration Service should quickly rescue these Nigerians, and so that they can move freely and not be jailed, as is done in some other countries, unfortunately. Until next week when we come your way again, I say thanks for staying tuned, and bye for now.